Hello there and welcome to my channel. I'm Cody the Coin Raptor, and in today's video we're going to talk about what's been going on with the Bitcoin price, some very interesting information coming from the FBI, and I also want to go ahead and cover what's going on right now with miners. So before we get into that, be sure to subscribe, be sure to like and share this video. Greatly appreciate you guys. I'm almost at about 250 subscribers, so it'd be great, if I could actually get there by the end of the month. That'd be fantastic. But we're going to go ahead and get started here by looking at our Bitcoin chart TA. Now, Bitcoin has been up about 2% in the last 24 hours. Actually, we've seen a fairly nice run with Bitcoin, and it seems to be up both in conjunction with the NASDAQ, which is up a little bit over 1.6% today, and up on the news of NVIDIA's latest earnings. Now, you guys will recall that I've been talking about NVIDIA's earnings coming up. Today, it was released, and they had some pretty fantastic results. So they were overall fairly strong in earnings and revenue. But the most important part down here is that they specifically highlight the gaming division, which includes the graphics cards. And these graphics cards can be used to mine Bitcoin. This was actually up 22% from a year ago to this $2.49 billion. Okay, so and this beat the estimate. So it's very interesting that they put out that the gaming division is actually a little bit higher than expected, and that could potentially be due to new GPU sales used to mine Bitcoin. So we saw a little bit of a bump from the Bitcoin price today in the after hours after the market closed, and now we're starting to see a little bit of a retracement here for the Bitcoin price. But one thing you'll notice here is that it came up and it touched this 200 hourly moving average, and then it basically was rejected and came back down here. Our latest support that we have is about 25,800 in this region right here. Now, I've said before in the past that I do believe that if this level doesn't hold here at about 25,800, that we would also see strong support here at about 25,000 or so. And if we go and we stretch this out a little bit, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at here. Now, if we look at the daily, which is what we have right here, we can see that the 25K level has been very strong support going all the way back to March, and then as resistance here in February. So this, I think, is probably going to wind up being the bottom spot, the bottom point here for the local bottom. If this level doesn't hold at 25,800, then I fully expect that we're going to get support here at 25K, and that support is going to hold. That is my expectation for the Bitcoin price based on what I've seen lately. Now, Bitcoin still remains oversold on the daily, even though we had a fairly nice day today. It's still sitting at about 29 or so, which is still technically oversold. And one thing you guys will notice here is your 200-day moving average was at about 27,000. That's gonna be providing a resistance when we try to go back up. And then if we take a look at our weekly, our 200-week moving average, which is going to provide some support on the way down. That's at about 25,600. So this is a level that's held in the past, and I do expect that it's going to continue to hold in the future. So look out for this level here for strong support. If 25,008 doesn't hold, then we have 25,006, and if that doesn't hold, then 25,000. Now again, I expect 25,000 to hold, and currently I've been waiting to see if we can get another dip buying opportunity below 26K. That is an area that I'd definitely be interested in adding to my already sizable Bitcoin position and the sizable amount of Bitcoin that I've been buying over the past couple of days, especially below 26K. Now let's go on to our Ethereum chart TA. So Ethereum, what we're looking at here is two very similar levels that we talked about for Bitcoin. We're on the weekly right now. Again, that 200-week moving average here at about 1627. I expect that to be very strong support. And a little bit above that, the 1652 level currently has been also very strong support. So we have kind of three levels of support here, that 1652, the 1627, and then down here at about 1545, I think is going to be the bottom again for the local bottom here for Ethereum. Now for Ethereum, I do expect that we're going to wind up holding this level right here, and then from here we could potentially have a strong move to the upside, and we can actually start to see buyers show up again. If we take a look at the daily, we can see here that again, just like with Bitcoin, it got very oversold down here in this region right here. And now it's actually back up to about 33 or so on the daily RSI, which means that it's just slightly above oversold, and it is ripe for a rebound, a nice little relief rally, which I do think is going to be happening for Bitcoin and Ethereum in the broader crypto market here shortly. Now, I also want to go ahead and touch upon Bitcoin dominance here real quick, because Bitcoin dominance has been doing some very interesting things. Again, if we take a look at the weekly, we had our previous wedge here. And so with the wedge, we've noticed that instead of it actually pushing through the support here, 52%, instead it's kind of gone sideways and it's broken the uptrend. So the uptrend has been broken for Bitcoin dominance that it's set back in November. Now, what this means is that we could largely wind up seeing more sideways action, but the uptrend has been broken. So it's more likely than not either we go sideways or we actually start losing some Bitcoin dominance from here. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about our Bitcoin and on our perpetual futures. So with perpetual futures or derivatives here, what we have is a very interesting story of what the traders have actually been up to. So we have the funding rates here, which actually switched to green. That means they're positive. So we've had more longs. Now they've actually come back down again. And so lately in the past couple hours, we've actually seen some negative funding rates here. So shorts have been taking the dominant position over the past a couple hours, and we're actually starting to see a huge drop in the open interest and basically the number of contracts. We're seeing a huge drop in the open interest right here, which means that we've had a large drop in volatility. It really seems like at the moment, traders are staying away from the market. They're trying to figure out what's happening, because last time they kind of went in full force. They all got liquidated. All the longs got liquidated. And so now there's a lot of people just standing on the sidelines waiting for this to play out, for Bitcoin to find its bottom. And then after that, we're going to wind up seeing them pile back into the market, into long positions, and attempt to move the price much higher. We've also seen a fairly strong number of liquidations in the past 24 hours. We can see here these large liquidation, these large red short liquidation candles here. These shorts have gotten liquidated over the past couple of hours. And if we take a look at our 24-hour short listing for Bitcoin, we're actually at about $25 million worth of short liquidations in the last 24 hours. So it hasn't just been the longs getting it lately. The shorts have also been liquidated in the past 24 hours. Now, what's interesting about what's going on with the Bitcoin price action right now is that you would think, given the circumstances and all this selling that we've seen over the past week, that you'd actually wind up seeing miners doing the same thing. However, miners have actually been doing the absolute opposite. And so what we have here is the Bitcoin Miners Reserve, which gives us an idea of how many coins are in the prospective miners' wallets. And what we're seeing right now is that during this huge drop in black of the Bitcoin price, miners did not sell. Miners did not cause this large capitulation we saw here from the Bitcoin price going from 25,400 down to about 26,000. Instead, they were actually accumulating even more Bitcoin at the time. So what this says to me is that they're waiting until the Bitcoin price moves up. If it goes back up again, preferably, around 30K, 31K, we could start to see some selling like we have in the past. If we back this out a little bit, we can see here that most of the selling that they've actually wind up doing is when Bitcoin is in this region right here, 30,000, 31,000. That's usually where they wind up selling. And instead, they're waiting to see if the price goes back up again. And they are not selling at this moment, according to the Miners Reserve, because presumably they want to get a higher price for Bitcoin, and they're assuming in the future that the price is going to be higher. So this is very interesting miner behavior from the miners, and kind of having more of a hodler mindset, which I think is always good. When you start to see Bitcoin miners start to sell, and sell at a strong pace, that would actually be a very bearish sign for me, that the fact that they're actually pushing the market down with them. But so far, we're starting to see them hold up actually fairly well. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the NVT Golden Cross, which is, again, something I talk about quite a bit when I'm looking for local tops and local bottoms. What we're looking at here in the NVT Golden Cross is this blue line here that crosses into this green zone right here. And when it comes into this green zone, and then it pops up, that would kind of indicate a local bottom. However, it's kind of popped up a little bit, and instead it's gone back down into this green zone right here, which kind of indicates that we're not yet at a local bottom yet for the Bitcoin price. But this data is also a couple of days old. So give it a little bit of time. I'm going to take a look at this. I'm going to follow it and see if in fact we're actually at this local bottom or not. So from the looks of it right now, according to the NVT Golden Cross, we are not yet at the local bottom. All right, so the next very interesting thing I want to talk about is that FBI warning I talked about before. And so according to the Daily Hodl, the FBI is issuing a warning to crypto investors that North Korean hackers may be trying to sell off $40 million in Bitcoin. So North Korean hackers have been responsible for many of the crypto-related hacks over the past couple of years. They've targeted bridges, they've targeted DeFi, and right now this group known as Lazarus are potentially looking to cash out $40 million worth of Bitcoin, okay? So this is really interesting information when you consider the fact that we have a very limited amount of supply available for Bitcoin right now. So if they're looking to cash out that 40 million, it's entirely possible that they could wind up tanking the price a little bit. I don't think it's going to be a huge amount, and they would be really foolish to sell it all at once and drive the price down all at once. Now, I think it's also very possible that they've begun selling already. Things like this tend to be kind of old news by the time they actually reach our ears. It's very possible that they actually did wind up selling, and they did probably wind up causing some of the fall that we've seen over the past couple of days, though I have no evidence to back that up. That's pure speculation, okay? But just know that the FBI is expecting they're going to be selling $40 million worth of Bitcoin sometime in the future. All right, so that's all I've got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about this. Leave your comments below. Have you guys been buying? Have you been selling? Have you been just staying on the sidelines for now? I'm definitely interested in hearing about this. And also be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on X for the most up-to-date information. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day.